Hey, what's up folks? I have a AKG C414 microphone here. It had been dropped and stopped working. It was like crackling and popping really bad, and then it just kind of sounded terrible. I'm gonna tear this apart, see if I can figure out the problem. Okay, so to tear this down, what you're gonna do and need is a small Torx, as well as a small Phillips head screwdriver. And there are two screws. These are the Torx ones that go in the base here. So you're gonna have to use the Torx to unscrew these two, remove those two, and then you're gonna also have to remove a small Phillips. Then you pull off the base, and that exposes the innards of the mic. Covers here, these grill covers are going to need to be released by pulling these buttons off. So basically there is, well, you'll see it once I take it off, but you need to pry the back of this kind of gold colored part out on both sides kind of carefully. And that will release. You can kind of see how this hooks on the back of the circuit board and kind of like goes on like that. So once that's off, that allows you to release the grill. There's a pin at the top here that holds the top of the grill. So you kind of press down and pry this out carefully, of course. And you can kind of see where that pin goes there. Hopefully this is focusing. So yeah, that's kind of how these things connect. Both sides are the same. So once again, you got to pull the buttons here, this bracket of buttons off. Be careful with it, it's kind of plastic. Once again, that has the hooks on it. And that will release this one that has also a pin kind of holding it at the top. There it is, there's the pin. What was going on was this was kind of just cutting out or not working. And usually what happens is you have these connectors, these wires that go up into the diaphragm of the condenser mic. And sometimes they break. It looks like this one right here is broken, so that's probably my culprit. So I just need to resolder that back on there. If your diaphragm's broken, and you can replace this, you can order the diaphragm probably somewhere. And then it kind of hangs on this rubber thingy here that hooks into these 4 points. So you would have to like take that off. I'm not gonna do it because that's not what's wrong with my mic, but if this was busted, you could do that. And you can see it's soldered on 4 different spots. 1, 2, and 3 and 4 wires. Unsolder those, replace the capsule, put it back on the hangers and everything. All right, so soldering time. Hopefully that's all that's wrong with this. And I just want to show you my little trick here. I've got the helping hands connected to, what are these called? Roach clips? I don't know. I know there's another name for them, but so I'm using these things to basically delicately hold my wire so I can do my soldering. And a little flux to both connections, then coming in with the solder. All right, so if you have dents in your grill cover, you can kind of bend that out with some sort of hard surfaced object like a screwdriver. Then it's reassembling things kind of in reverse order. You find that hole in the top of the grill cloth with that pin, you put it in there, and then you kind of push it down, and then you're gonna come in with the clip, the button clip, and that's going to kind of hook onto the circuit board from above, and then you have to kind of press it carefully on the sides to get it to pop in, and that kind of holds the grill cloth down. That button kind of like goes over the grill cloth on the bottom. Then you're flipping over to the other side. You're gonna go ahead and feed that, match that up with the hole, press it in, and then here comes the second button. Same deal, you kind of find where those holes kind of go into the circuit board, and then you put it on there and try to snap it over and make sure it's on there good. I'm going to check the buttons and make sure they all click and work as they should. Then it's sliding that base back in and replacing the screws. And boom, you're done. Okay, just plugged it in, ran through all the settings, it works perfectly. So yeah, just as suspected, it was that little wire that was loose connecting to the diaphragm. So pretty common if this thing's dropped. You see those wires are pretty exposed and fragile, but they're easy to access and to resolder yourself. So hopefully if you've got a broken AKG C414, hopefully that's the culprit, not something more major. So cool, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and check out other videos on our channel. Okay, thanks.